gosh, I'm gonna really, let's face it, but what does that actually smell like? Can't even speak today. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I have something that's quite exciting. So it's all based around iris or orris. Either way, it's practically the same note, and I know a lot of you guys really love this note equally as much as I do in perfumery. So I just thought I would show you guys, you know, some picks in my collection that have a strong note of iris or orris, and to give you guys a few choices, a few ideas that you can pick from. Let's face it, I don't have all of the most amazing iris or orris fragrances in my collection. I've bought all of my own perfumes. Maybe there's only been one that's ever been gifted to me, so there will be times when, you know, I won't be able to buy all of the beautiful iris fragrances out there, but nonetheless, I have a really good choice for you guys. And before I start, by the way, I don't know if you guys know, but I've just recently kind of come back on Instagram, so I'm just going to put my handle here. So in case if any of you guys are also on Insta, and if you want more like regular fragrance content on there, I'll definitely be showing a lot more of my perfumes and kind of like my tastes and things on there. So yeah, let's just jump straight into it. So the first thing that I will say, because I thought it might be good just to preface a little bit more about the note of iris. So in actual fact, a lot of perfumery, they tend to use orris root as the iris accord, and the reason for that is because it tends to be quite hard to actually extract iris from the flower. So orris is essentially like the root of iris, and it takes quite a long while for it to be extracted or steam distilled. So typically it takes about 3 to 5 years. And to me, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, please let me know down in the comments, but when I smell iris or orris, it gives me 3 different types of feelings, right? The first feeling that I get is a very buttery, smooth, developing kind of note. It basically smells like butter to me, very smooth, soft, lovely. The next kind of nuance that I get from iris or orris is definitely the typical lipstick, powdery, vintage face powder kind of vibe. That's definitely probably the most popular type of smell when it comes to iris or orris. And the last facet that I get is, weirdly enough, I don't know whether it's just me or whether I'm just making this up as we go along, it's essentially like a nutty, fluffy type of feeling. So a little bit on the nutty side, a bit like carrot seed, you know, that note that kind of provides that like nutty, ultra dimension. That's also kind of what I get from orris. Anyway, all of this to say, in this specific video, I will be talking about different facets of the iris orris that I get in these fragrances, and hopefully that will give you guys a little bit of a better idea of what type of nuance I get, because it's all fine and dandy for me to say, do you know what, it smells like iris. Right, but what does that actually smell like? So yeah, we'll just jump straight into it. So the first fragrance that I have is from the house of Histoires de Parfum, and it comes in this really cool packaging. What I like about this specific brand is they do go out of their way to be quite different, unique, and I really actually appreciate that, because as you can see, it kind of shows almost as like a book cover, and you know, you can almost keep these as books as you would in your bookcase, which I think is quite sweet. So this one is called 1889 Moulin Rouge, and this is the most heavily iris fragrance I've smelt in a very long time. So this is how the bottle looks like. I only have the 15 ml, but in all honesty, this is a bit of a beast, so I don't really need to get any bigger bottle for the time being. I'm just gonna spray a little bit here in the air for you guys, and it's actually the fragrance that I'm wearing today, and I absolutely love it. I've been really giving it a good go just to, you know, give you guys the fairest review that I can. In the beginning, you definitely get a bit of a spice, and that spice is coming from some cardamom, a little bit of like a dark plum gin type of vibe, so it has a bit of like an alcoholic acidity to it. So you have the spice from the cardamom, the acidity from this plum gin kind of accord that you're getting here, and the iris, or the orris I should say, both is the most overwhelming cloud of powder lipstick type of vibe. So you know how I was saying earlier how there's different facets to me? This is 100% that lipsticky, powdery type of vibe that we were talking about. This to me smells like you've just gone to a very old school type of cinema or theatre, and you're sat on these very plush red velvet seats, and you have plum gin in one hand, and in the other you're applying your lipstick, a very old school, maybe 50s, 60s type of lipstick, and you're applying face powder all at the same time. It sounds quite mad, that description, but to me that's the closest that I can get in terms of describing this particular fragrance. It has a very big cloud and aura around it. So if you don't like overwhelming fragrances, I would not recommend this to you. It's plush, it's lipsticky, it's old school, it's mature, it definitely has a little bit of a vintage vibe to it. So if you're not into that type of fragrance, please don't give it a go, because I don't want some of you saying, oh my god, it smells like grandma. If you don't like vintage fragrances, then unfortunately there will be some that you find a little bit grandma-ish or over mature. This one to me has like the best of both worlds, because it includes that plum gin spicy nuance in the beginning and then ends with that powdery lipsticky plush iris. To me it's not too overwhelming and it's very wearable, and I find that over time it becomes more softer, more elegant and feminine. It kind of has like a bit of a floral feminine type of vibe to it. So definitely if you've not tried this fragrance before, please try Moulin Rouge 1889 by Histoires de Parfum. So the next fragrance I have for you is one for the ladies who want to smell sensual, dark, alluring. Maybe you want to have something on a date night with hubby. Maybe you're meeting somebody new. Maybe you're just going out for drinks. This is the fragrance for you. This is Iris Malika. It's one that is actually new to my collection. I bought it recently when I did the vlog. If you haven't watched it, please watch it below because I tried my best. You know how these things go. So Iris Malika, first off, I will say it's not overly unique, but it's generic and crowd pleasing all in the right ways. And sometimes, you know, perfume doesn't have to smell weird or it doesn't have to smell unique. Sometimes you just want a nice wearable fragrance, and this is definitely one. To me, this is like the love child between Alien from Mugler and La Nuit Trésor from Lancôme, and I'll kind of explain why I think it's a bit of a love child between the two. So in the beginning, you have this very strong note of blackcurrant mixed with some blackberries, a very berry heavy opening which has a fruity sweetness to it, and on the dark side, which I absolutely love, has almost like a bit of a gourmand touch to it. And that's why I said it's very similar to La Nuit Trésor, because that has that same opening. And then what is absolutely incredible about this fragrance, it then goes down into a floral ambery type of vibe. And you guys know how much I love my floriental fragrances. I absolutely adore them. This has a very lipstick iris vibe. To me, it doesn't lean very much into the buttery, nutty side. To me, it leans more into the lipstick realm. But that isn't a bad thing, because it's a very soft lipstick powderiness that you get in here, and that's supported by a woody, ambery, sticky, resinous element in the base. So that's why I said, to me it really reminds me of Alien, because Alien has that like sensual, floral, woody, resinous quality to it in the base, and that's definitely what you get here. Instead of the jasmine, you get iris. So an absolutely wonderful fragrance, very wearable. I've already gotten a compliment. Can't even speak today. I've already had a couple of compliments from this fragrance, and I haven't even had it that long. I'm so excited to continually wear this, and as I said, you can wear it any season. I mean, summer, spring, fall, winter, any season that you like. So that is Iris Malika from Chopard. So the next fragrance that I have for you guys is one that you know very well, and originally, as you know, it was actually recommended by my beautiful friend Giselle. She's actually back here on YouTube. So if you don't know, you now know, and you now need to watch her last video because she's absolutely incredible. I really look up to her because she genuinely has the most elevated fragrance taste of any other influencer or content creator that I know, but she's much more than that. She's absolutely incredible. So please, if you haven't watched her video, watch it now because you need to support my friend. And this is one that she recommended to me some time ago now, and I already need to buy another bottle. Can you see? I have run through this thing like there's no tomorrow. This is another thing, guys. I feel like I'm going on a tangent here, but I genuinely am curious to see whether you guys would want to see all of the fragrances that I've ran out of or I'm low of, because I think it's great to actually see people who you enjoy watching, which ones they genuinely gravitate towards and which they wear often. I find that, and this is no shade by the way, but since coming back on Instagram, I've noticed a lot of people have these huge collections, which is no disrespect. I would love, love, love to have collections like this. But the one thing that I've noticed is that you don't really see many of the fragrances worn, right? They come to a certain level and they look almost as if they're brand new. Granted, you will have newer fragrances in your collection, like what I do, for example, and you know, those are just the newer ones that you have, and maybe their level hasn't gone down. But I feel like sometimes it's just nice to see fragrances that have been worn. Genuinely, I mean, if you were to go through my collection, most of them are halfway or below. That's how much I wear my fragrances. But anyway, I feel like I've just gone on a complete tangent here. So this is Lua from Xerjoff. This has to be, you can see my face how much I love this fragrance, one of the most beautiful floral fruity fragrances out there. So mature, so elegant, so versatile. I'm just going to spray a little bit in the air. I feel sad because I'm wasting this fragrance and I need to buy a new bottle. Oh my god. Good lord, this is an absolute stunner. So to begin with, it has a very bright fruity opening of like a cantaloupe melon. Very realistic, very photorealistic, almost feels like you're having a summer fruity cocktail, right? Like a summer salad with melons and some tangerines. Very beautiful, very fruity and sweet in the beginning. And then in the middle, you have the most beautiful powdery sweet iris. Has a little bit of a, you know, that carrots like, that nuttiness that I was talking about earlier. That's kind of what I get in this as well. So you have the powdery, lipsticky kind of vibe of the Iris Orris, but then you're also getting a bit of a nutty vibe to it, which I absolutely adore. By this very beautiful, clean, sweet musk. Very, very enveloping. Not like a animalic musk whatsoever or like an overwhelming musk. This is clean. This means business, this fragrance. Genuinely, I mean, the performance on this is really amazing as well. I tend to find that it has a really great sillage. As I said, creates like an enveloping bubble around you. Still has that freshness from the melon in the beginning, so you don't lose that throughout the fragrance, which I really genuinely enjoy. So if you've never tried Lua from Xerjoff, you need to try it now because it will blow your mind. And I will be showing another Xerjoff fragrance a little bit later on, so keep tuned because that is another beautiful iris fragrance. They seem to be doing iris really well at Xerjoff. Just as a heads up, they tend to do that note very, very well. So that's Lua from Xerjoff. So the next fragrance that I have is one that is very special, and please can I get a little applause because this is absolutely insane. This is Millesime Iris by Iris from the Shalimar collection from Guerlain. Now, as you guys know, Guerlain have many flankers of Shalimar, and I would pretty much say I love absolutely all of them. There isn't one that I don't like, to be honest. And even the original Shalimar I absolutely adore. I know a lot of people tend to find that it's quite mature, a little bit overwhelming. They don't tend to like that animalic kind of essence to it, but I actually don't find it that animalic. I don't know if it's just me, but I think it's a very smooth, enveloping amber fragrance. But anyway, this is a flanker to the original Shalimar, and every year, as far as I know, they always release like a millesime version of it. So there's millesime Tonka, vanilla, there's also some other beautiful notes as well. This one in particular focuses on iris, and the way they have executed this iris or orris note is to be studied, because this thing is absolutely unreal. And do you know what? Guerlain in general, I find, tend to do iris very well. Like Iris Torrefi. Gosh, I'm gonna hate myself, because there's another iris fragrance that is absolutely stunning from Guerlain, because I have the fragrance in my head and in my senses, but I don't know. Iris Ganache. Iris Ganache. That is the fragrance. That one is absolutely beautiful. This, I think they probably got inspiration from Iris Ganache more than Iris Torrefi. This is insane. Let me just spray it in the air. So it first starts off with like a candied lemon bergamot pie in the very beginning. It's very fresh, citrusy, inviting, and then softens up with this very buttery orris. It does not give me lipstick vibes to me. This is where I said it goes into the buttery, smooth, almost like vanillic nuttiness that you get from the orris root in here. It's absolutely unreal. What plays really well with this particular fragrance is they pair that buttery orris with vanilla and caramel. Can you imagine? This is absolutely incredible. To me, it leans quite gourmand with that caramel note. Very soft, inviting, softens up the fragrance to the point where it almost tastes, or I nearly said tastes, it does taste like it smells like orris caramel vanilla butter, something that you'd pour over pancakes, with that citrusy element as well. Absolutely stunning. A 10 out of 10 from Guerlain. And you know what I find really peculiar about this fragrance? So it first starts off with a good projection, then becomes quite intimate. But after some time, what I noticed is the more that I was wearing this fragrance, the more it played tricks on my skin. So there'll be moments where I will just do like a sudden movement, and then all of a sudden I get this marshmallowy, buttery iris caramel accord coming from my skin. Unreal. I think this is an absolutely beautiful modern take on Shalimar. Still has like the essence of Shalimar, the oriental amber kind of vibe, but without it being animalic or overly mature. Any age can wear this, from young to very old. This is very elegant, and I would highly recommend that you buy this. So that's Millesime Iris from Guerlain. So the very last fragrance that I unfortunately do not have a bottle of, but I will be buying soon, is from the house of Xerjoff. Again, they tend to do iris very, very well. I would say the two houses that do iris the best by far is Guerlain and Xerjoff. They do it the best. In terms of the way I interpret iris or orris, I think that they just encapsulate it perfectly. So this is Ibitria, or I always pronounce it incorrectly, Ibitira, right, Ibitira. And this is from the Shooting Stars collection, one of the best collections in the niche world by far, has some absolutely incredible fragrances. This is, I don't know if it's my favorite iris. All of these are absolutely incredible iris fragrances, so it's so hard to pick a favorite. But I would say all of them have different qualities, right? So this one is a citrus iris fragrance. And if you guys like a more fresh, summery type of fragrance, then I think you'd really enjoy this. So I'm just going to spray a little bit in the air. Wow, absolutely incredible. That concoction of lemon, orange blossom, some neroli as well, mixed with this lipstick iris, is absolutely incredible. The beginning is like a candied, zesty orange mixed with a very fluffy, newly blossomed orange blossom mixed with this very lipsticky, powdery type of iris note. And I have sprayed it a little bit here just to remind myself exactly how this fragrance smells like. Soon enough, you kind of get, again, the same type of nutty carrot seeds type of quality of the Iris Orris in this fragrance, similar to Lua in Xerjoff, but still has that powdery, sweet, fluffy element to it. To me, this is a very linear fragrance. It doesn't change very much. It's very heavy on the citruses, and the candied orange blossom lemony type of vibe with the heavy iris note. It doesn't really have much of a change to it. It does have some vanilla nuances to it, which give this really beautiful, fluffy, sweet anchoring note to this particular fragrance. So it's not, you know, some citruses tend to be a little bit overwhelming. There's no balance to it. This is beautifully balanced. This, if you're getting particularly hot on a summer's day, and if you just want to refresh yourself, but also if you want to smell very feminine with that iris powdery accord, this would be absolutely perfect. And honestly, Xerjoff, if you ever watch any of my videos, you can see how much I love your perfumes, because I, you know, absolutely rave Xerjoff through and through. I know that they're more expensive, but just the level of quality and workmanship behind them, this is the perfect citrus, ice, iris, vanilla cocktail. That is exactly how I would describe this fragrance. Fantastic projection, by the way, and I'm really hoping that I will one day be able to buy this bottle. So that's Ibitira from Xerjoff. So guys, that's it for today's video. As I said, you know, if there are any more kind of iris fragrances that I'll add in my collection in the future, I'll definitely do like a part 2 to this video. And please let me know if there are any iris heavy fragrances that you guys enjoy down in the comments below. But anyway, I hope you have a lovely week, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.